Remember Higurashi? That one visual novel from 2002 that a few people played and got 2 or 3 adaptations that people actually cared about? Higurashi, When They Cry, follows our best boy Keksi after moving to the quiet and wonderful rural town of Hinamizawa. According to AniList, he spends his days blissfully wandering around the village and making lifelong friends like an 11-year-old child and a girl who carries around a murder weapon, and everyone was just kind of okay with it, I guess. I found it. Yes, I found it. I think the easiest place to begin falling down this rabbit hole would be by spoon-feeding small bits of information along the way as to not give any of you a cerebral overload as we delve into this downward spiral. Now at this point you may have noticed I actually have yet to tell you anything about what this conspiracy actually is, so a good place to start would be simply showing you this single image. You ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. For the sake of your sanity, I'll refrain from elaborating any further on the meaning of this image, but just be warned that you will never be able to look at this image the same way again after you've seen what I have seen. But yeah, with most of the basic exposition out of the way, I'm gonna have to now give everyone a spoiler warning. Aside from the new series, because I still haven't watched it yet, please don't spoil them in the comments, I swear to God. Now if I'm being honest, I don't really know why someone who hasn't watched or read Higurashi would have even clicked on this video in the first place, but I'm still saying it so nobody feels the need to write me an extensive paragraph in the comments about how their entire life was ruined from not knowing that Higurashi isn't actually a happy and cheerful slice of life with a world of sunshine and rainbows, because that's exclusive to the OVAs. So in Higurashi, we learn that 11-year-old Rika Furude isn't actually 11 and is in fact mentally over 100 years old, because for some reason, she and her best buddy Hanyo are so unbelievably dumb that they still can't find any way to break the perpetually repeating time loop. And as you were probably expecting, the idea of the time loop plays a crucial role within this conspiracy as it leaks into more than what may originally meet the eye. For one, this time loop is a core concept of the show and factors into why the show seemingly repeats with none of the characters, aside from Rika, realizing that just a few moments ago they were just hanging their best friend to a cross and slowly torturing them to death, or locking her onto a table and slowly ripping their nails apart one by one. But yeah, I think you get the point. Even Higurashi's spiritual successor umineko retains many connections to Higurashi throughout the story, but I won't dive too deep into that for spoiler reasons, and also the fact that it's over 70 hours long and I'm still too lazy to finish it myself. The OVA following Higurashi's second season also deals with weird issues related to time, where honestly all I can really remember is this one scene that happens in the second episode. Truly a travesty, isn't it? Well, now that we've covered the main aspects and concept of the time loop within Higurashi, it's probably a good time to branch into where this scheme really begins to reveal its true colors. Recalling how Higurashi's presence is also reminiscent within umineko due to its visual and atmospheric undertones, as well as that one time last year when the internet had a stroke after finding out that the new Higurashi season had umineko connections. It wouldn't be a bold statement to assume that there's more than what's seen at first glance, which brings us to 2018, or more specifically, April 12th of 2018. Depending on how long you followed Higurashi, you may remember a certain event that happened within this month of April, being that a new little series came out simply titled Last Period. Let's be honest guys, we only remember this show because of that one episode that had the Higurashi characters. Yes, on April 26, 2018, Last Period's third episode famously had a crossover with the Higurashi characters, which was actually kind of a big deal at the time, since up until this point we hadn't officially seen these characters animated since 2013. On the surface, Last Period's relations with Higurashi may seem completely harmless, but what the staff didn't realize is they unknowingly confirmed with undeniable proof a decade-long conspiracy that's been slowly building up more and more as the years have gone by. If I had anything to say to you, Rikishi 7, I'd have to admit, you put up a good fight, you really did. But at the end of the day, the lies can only be hidden for so long before the truth is eventually unraveled. Which brings us to the day. Now brings us to the fated day in 2009. A day seemingly like no other at first, until a very specific event took place which would slowly change Higurashi's lifespan for the next 10 years. Indeed, your first thought as a Higurashi fan would most likely be that this was the year that Higurashi no Nako Koro ni Rei released. Now does this fact serve any relevance to the conspiracy? No, not really. But it could if you considered another show that began airing in late 2008, which calls back to none other than The Image. Yes, The Image. Now as many of you will know, Toradora stood the test of time as a romance that many will instantly recommend when looking for a new series to start. So take a moment to imagine how late 2000s anime fans reacted, especially during its latter half, which concluded in March of 2009. For further context, let's consider how Higurashi's new OVA was scheduled to air in February of 2009. Noticing the pattern yet? Precisely between the point of Higurashi's new OVA and Toradora's height of popularity, something happened which would cause these two seemingly unrelated series to become one and the same. For one last nail in the coffin of why this conspiracy has arisen in the first place, I'll now elaborate on a certain image that was uploaded in the early morning of January 6, 2009. whether it's to add on to the anticipation of the new OVA series or simply a twist of pure fate. A forsaken image that you will now bear witness to had been created, which would change Higurashi and Toradora once and for all. Now I know this may be a lot to take in, but yes, from the evidence I've gathered here today, I can confirm with virtually 100% certainty that Higurashi and Toradora share the same universe. Higurashi's lore is ever expanding even as I speak, and the present at time is an ever-changing factor within its universe to the point where even the main cast appears in a completely unrelated anime series such as Last Period, displays that anything is possible within the realm. With this image serving as undeniable credence to the conspiracy that Higurashi and Toradora are one and the same. At the end of the day, if they can exist in Toradora, who's to say they can't exist within other worlds? Worlds similar to our own. Our world. I don't know myself, but if I can leave you with anything to take away from this, just be sure to do a double check under your bed tonight. Goodbye.